Law enforcement has arrived, even though I haven't spoken to anybody.
Hey, good afternoon. How are you?
Hey, how are you, officer? Do you mind if I get your name and badge number, sir?
Yeah, my name's Detective Bloom. Badge number 74.
Thank you, sir.
How you doing?
Hey, how are you, sir?
Detective O'Brien, Frank Lakes.
Thank you,
Back
Detective
6'6",
O'Brien.
how are you?
Thank you. Nothing much. You guys here for me?
Yeah. Did we talk to you yet?
No, I haven't spoken to anybody at the library yet. No.
Okay. Did anybody from the library talk to you?
No, nobody.
Okay.
Why, what's up?
So, as far as I believe, you need written permission to film inside the library from the director.
I need written permission
Yeah.
from the director of the
I'll
library.
get that in writing. Hold on a second.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Thanks. Appreciate it.
This video wastes no time. Before the audience can even settle in, the auditor drops a question that immediately shifts the balance of power. Are you policy enforcement? It's a deceptively simple line, but it exposes the core issue instantly. Officers are already on scene, the tension is real, and the stakes are clear. This isn't about attitude or disorder. It's about whether police can enforce internal rules as if they were law. From the very first minute, the auditor positions himself calmly, confidently, and deliberately, while the officers step into a legal minefield they don't yet realize they're standing in.
Where are you coming from today?
Oh, I'm just visiting the library here, that's all.
Are you local or?
No, not local, no. No, not local.
Where are you from?
I'd rather just not answer any more questions, if that's okay with you. Thank you, sir. Yeah, no problem.
So we got the policy for you.
Hi, sir, how are you?
Sir, how are you?
Can I get your name and badge number, please?
Sure, Sergeant Noble.
Sergeant Noble.
If you want to get.
So this is the library's policy?
Yes, number 18.
So it says recording within the building without express permission of the library director, written permission from all of those being videotaped, photographed, and otherwise is prohibited.
Correct.
So are you a policy enforcement, sir? I don't need that, thank you.
Policy enforcement?
Right, do you enforce policies?
That's them here.
So why are you here if you're not enforcing the
The
policy?
director is enforcing the policy.
The director? And the director's name? Do you mind if I speak to the director?
She does not want to speak to you.
She doesn't want to speak to me?
No, sir.
So how do I know that she's... I don't know what... why can't I speak to her? She's a public servant.
I can't speak on her behalf.
Right. But you are, though, because you're bringing me a
She's saying
policy.
that. Correct.
Right, so that means you're
library.
speaking on her behalf.
Okay, if that's what you feel I'm doing.
Well, you are, sir. I mean, it's
I'm
pretty
not
obvious.
dispute it with you.
No, I don't want to dispute anything with you either, sir. It doesn't seem... You enforce the law. You're a law enforcement officer, Sergeant?
Yes, sir.
Right, so this is not a law. This is policy.
Correct.
I am using the libraries for its intended purpose like anybody else would use it. I'm just happen to have a recording in my
But it's
hand.
against their policy.
Now the confrontation becomes official. A library policy is physically presented, and the officers lean on it as justification for their presence. But the auditor doesn't take the bait. Instead, he slows everything down and dismantles the argument piece by piece. He points out the critical difference between policy and law and forces the officers to acknowledge something uncomfortable. They don't actually enforce policies, they enforce statutes. The more the officers try to explain themselves, the clearer it becomes that they're operating in a gray area, and the audience can feel the momentum shifting.
Right, but their policy can't trump the United States Constitution and the First Amendment of freedom of press. I'm a journalist. I'm here conducting an investigation for a story and using the library for its intended purpose. I'm reading books. I'm looking at what they have here. How can you... That's like if they had a policy that said...
Are you filming other people without permission?
Well, it's funny that you say that because you're right below a camera. The library didn't ask me for permission to film me, sir. And do you know why they don't have to ask me for permission to film me? And why none of you who have body cameras on asked me for permission to film me today? Because you don't need the permission to film me because we're in public and there's no reasonable expectation of privacy in public, sir. So no one needs to ask for permission to film in public. Again, I'm not particularly wanting to film anybody. I'm filming books and...
Well, you're filming me, so I'm not.
Right. Well, you're filming me.
I'm that way, not on you.
Well, okay, so your detective here is filming me. But again, no one has a reasonable expectation of privacy in public. I've been through this in federal courts before. Won some federal court cases in New York City regarding filming in public and filming law enforcement officers in the course of their duty as well, which you are. I just don't understand what is your purpose here to hand me a policy?
Because we got called of a suspicious person here, filming people, which is against their policy.
So they would like you to leave.
A suspicious person. What about me is suspicious, sir?
That was filming people, walking around filming.
That's
what we got.
So by that standard, you're suspicious
Why am I suspicious?
because you're walking around filming people, sir.
No, we only film when we get to a call.
Right.
Per our policy.
Right, exactly. Per your policy, that's fine. And I have my own policies. I have a company, and my own policies say that I follow the United States Constitution, as you should, sir. You took an oath to uphold the United States Constitution
100%.
and our constitutional rights. And has anybody complained? This is why.
That's why we get called here. Was from
No. But the staff. Okay, so that's like if you, for example, that's like if you, sir. Again, I don't want to argue with you. I'm having a conversation with you.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. So that's like if you.
This is where the auditor lands one of his strongest blows. He draws attention to the surveillance cameras above, the body cameras on the officers, and the obvious contradiction no one wants to address. If filming is such a problem, why is everyone else allowed to do it, especially the government? The argument about privacy begins to collapse under its own weight. The auditor calmly explains public expectation of privacy, cites prior legal victories, and forces the officers into a defensive posture. What started as a suspicious person call now looks increasingly unjustified.
Came to a call because you complained. You're the law enforcement officer. You're the public servant. You can't complain on somebody for, you know what I mean? So they are workers here. Has anybody from the public complained that I'm a suspicious person with a camera recording them and violating their privacy in public? Which again, there's a camera right in front of you, sir, right above you.
When you walk in, and I'm sure it says the suspect video recorded, I would think.
Right. So if I had like a shirt that said like you are being video recorded right now, would that be okay?
That I cannot tell you.
Like if I had like a t-shirt that just says you are being recorded at all times while you're next to me, that would be okay. Again, sir, my only thing is that no one asked me for permission to film me. I'm trying to use the library for its intended purpose. There is case law on these sorts of things. Like I understand that the library is what you would call a limited public forum. That means that it has to have reasonable rules in order to use the library for its intended purpose. I'm trying to use the library for its intended purpose. I'm not sitting there standing in front of anybody filming them. I'm trying to actually find the United States Constitution and some literature here to make sure that they carry it here. It's part of my investigation to make sure that they.
I will help you get that documentation.
Right. So but that's fine. But why? Right. That's yeah.
You are using it for your intended purpose.
Right.
Go find the Constitution.
That's fine.
Go right ahead.
Right. That's all. And the only thing is, I'm holding a camera. I'm not here just to film. I'm here to use it. I'm here to. Yeah.
Perfect.
No one's impeding your ability to film in here right now. So we're not taking the camera from you. We're not.
Right. Oh, I hope not. You don't seem like the type that would. But I've been in situations where it's not been a good situation, but I hopefully that doesn't happen here today. But again, I'm not going to give you a problem. If you are going to enforce that policy, then that's the way for me to handle this in federal court, like I've done before in the past. And yeah, right, exactly. So
Sir, can we help you expeditiously get the footage that you need so that we can come to?
Well, no, I'm not. It's not necessarily I need any sort of footage. I'm using the library for its intended purposes of using the library, of looking for books, my intention right now is to look for the United States Constitution, but I'm here to use the library for its intended purpose. I'm not here to...
Here, the video slows down, but the tension doesn't. The auditor delivers a methodical explanation of limited public forums, intended use, and constitutional protections. This isn't shouting. This isn't chaos. It's a controlled legal lesson happening in real time, and the officers are clearly outmatched. They attempt to redirect the situation by offering help and trying to move things along, but the auditor refuses to be rushed. Viewers can feel it. The officers want this encounter to end, but they don't have the authority to force it.
Strictly film. I happen to be filming and exercising my constitutional right while using the library. You understand? So it's like I'm using the library like any other citizen could. We have rights to use the library. And again, if that policy, I read your policy, sorry, I read the policy of the I'm sorry, not your policy, but you're the one that handed it to me, excuse me. But I read the policy, and the policy from the director, it could say that people with hats can't come inside the library, or people of a certain color or a certain size. Would you say, hey, sir, they have a policy that, your skin color is a little too dark or a little too light? Would you say that? No, right?
No.
It doesn't make any sense.
People you're working on or what it may have, or sensitive stuff, and they don't want to film. I'm assuming that's why they have this policy.
Right. Well, sensitive stuff in what? This is a public area, sir. There's nothing sensitive.
Children come and things.
Right. I'm not in listen, I could be in children's area, but I'm not in the children's area. No, but I know in every library there's a children's section that's cordoned off for children. Never went into that section. I like how libraries are structured that way. That way, children can stay where the children belong.
So clearly, listen, I don't mean to cut you off. Clearly,
Yeah, go ahead.
You're here for an intended purpose. How can we help you get to your intended purpose sooner rather than later? Because we're being tied up here.
Right, and I don't want you to be.
Taxpayer dollars are being used for us right now.
Right.
As a taxpayer,
By your
I'm assuming
choice.
You are correct. That you would like us to get back to our duties.
Right. Yes,
sooner
I would
rather
love
than
it. Right.
later. So how come? I'm so sorry.
Excuse me, ma'am.
How could we do that?
So just let me go about my business and look at my books.
So you stated that you were looking for the U.S. Constitution.
Right.
Okay.
Do you know where that is?
I do not here actually.
Because you don't work here. That would be a question for somebody that works here.
Okay.
Right?
You wanna talk to
Yeah, sure. I'll talk to somebody that works here. No problem. Hey, sir. How are you? Mind if I just get your badge number, sir?
Yeah, let me throw my camera first.
Oh, sure.
I just walked in.
Yeah, no problem, sir. I just like to get everybody's name.
Sergeant Donald Wilson,
Sergeant Donald. Thank you.
6'3".
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
So you understand, though, the concern that's I'm late to the party.
Right.
A new sergeant enters the scene, and with him comes a noticeable change in tone. The approach shifts from policy enforcement to implication. Questions about intent, identity, and purpose start creeping in. But again, the auditor holds firm. He doesn't escalate. He doesn't comply unnecessarily. He simply keeps asking the same devastating question. What crime has been committed? And no one can answer it.
Turn to you as to filming in here.
The other sergeant over here showed me a policy that the library has. I haven't spoken to... first of all, while I was looking at books here and exercising my constitutional rights, no one came up to me and spoke to me and told me anything. It's when you guys came here, law enforcement, that I was... you guys told me that there was some sort of policy. They showed me the policy, and I understand that the policy exists. I've seen it with my own eyes. But again, my only response to that, Sergeant, would be that a policy can say anything. You're not policy enforcement. You're law enforcement. If the policy said that, white people couldn't come into the library or black people or...
The hyperbole is a bit much on that one.
Well, I mean, it's the same. It's the same
not,
thing.
No, because
we have a right.
The policy. This policy is very specific in that they don't want you filming unless you have prior approval. It makes no mention to conflate the issue with race or religion or gender or any other issue is disingenuous.
But how? Because it's
the policy specific.
You wouldn't enforce it.
That they'd like you to have prior permission before coming in because the library is accommodable. They'll make arrangements for you. I believe in independent media. I'm a big First Amendment guy too. All right, but the problem is, you're in a library, right? School's right down the block. They're concerned also.
See, now you're
children.
conflating. Now that's disingenuous. When you're talking about a school down the block. There's children everywhere, sir. If there was, listen, for example, if I was filming in front of the school on the sidewalk, sir, that would be, according to you, would be concerning. Okay, if I was filming outside of a school on the public sidewalk, there would be nothing that you could do about it, correct? Correct. So, because I'm doing it in a public...
But I'm talking about why we're here.
Right.
Okay, I'm not saying you're breaking the law. You said it's overkill. It's not overkill. We're next to the police station. The reason why we're here is because the staff called us. Because in their course of a day, right, or in their course of their daily business, they don't have people come and start videotaping and filming things. So they're doing their job. They have a policy, right?
But
That's
they're
why they
doing
call
it.
us.
They're literally filming everybody that walks into this building with public cameras, with taxpayer-funded cameras that are public record that anybody could...
So am I. I'm filming also.
Right.
Okay.
So you are in violation of the policy as well.
Because if anybody ever wants access to our videos, if there's juveniles on it, we redact it. So juveniles never get put out. When you do the eventual open request I know you're going to submit, if there was a juvenile or somebody else in here, they would be redacted, right? We're not going to put out a juvenile
As per the Attorney General guidelines.
on YouTube or anything like that.
Right.
So there is a little bit of a difference.
Well, I would put a minor on any sort of public...
Well, we don't know that. How are we supposed to know that? You won't give us your ID. You don't tell us who you are. So how do I know that?
Well, you never... I wouldn't give you my ID, but you didn't ask for it in the first place. But my name is
I'm
Sean.
late to the party, so I'm assuming
Right?
they asked you for
No,
your ID.
they did not.
Probably told you no.
They did not ask me
And
for
I'm
my
assuming when
ID.
I ask you, you're going to tell me no.
You're assuming wrong. They never asked me for any ID.
Will you give me your name and ID so I can verify?
My name is Sean, sir.
Sean, and am I going to be able to... I need more than that to look you up to who you are.
Right. No, I don't want to be... That's... I think that's overkill because I'm not trying to
what's
do
overkill?
anything.
Is you coming in here and doing this, right?
Exercising my rights.
We have things to do.
So go do them, sir.
But now we're just going to leave you in here and you're going to walk around. Are you going to harass staff? Are you going to film children? You said you were here to read books.
Sir, was I harassing anybody? You said you're late to the party. What was I doing when you walked in?
I said,
Was I harassing?
are
Was
you
I
going-
harassing anyone?
Are you going to harass somebody?
Was
Are
I
you going to
harassing
bother
anyone,
people?
sir?
This is the most uncomfortable part of the video. When legal arguments fail, officers pivot to emotional pressure, invoking children, schools, and hypothetical harm. The insinuations are subtle, but unmistakable. The auditor immediately calls it out, refusing to allow fear-based narratives to replace facts. He forces the officers to confront their own words and acknowledge that none of their concerns are tied to actual behavior. The tension peaks here, as viewers realize the encounter is no longer about filming. It's about control.
You were walking around filming.
Okay, was I looking at books?
I don't know.
Okay, was I wasn't harassing anybody. So again, you're trying to make it seem that something that it's not. I'm not harassing anybody. I don't want to
Never
harass
said you were.
anybody.
Never said you were.
Okay, but you're trying to infer that that's
No, I'm
what
not
if you
inferring anything.
leave.
I asked you a
If you
question.
leave, that
You're
oh, what are you
inferring
gonna
something-
do?
You're inferring that what I was inferring is wrong. I was asking you a question. I said, are you going to harass anybody?
All right, sir. I'm not. I don't want to listen. I'm not harassing
Don't tell me to
anybody.
listen because I have no choice but to listen to you.
Okay.
I'd love to be out doing other stuff.
So go do it.
Okay.
So go do it. Respectfully, go do it, sir. Yes, you can. You could say there's no crime being committed here. No one is being harassed. No one is causing a disturbance. No one is being disorderly. This man is politely filming. He's not raising his
Are
voice.
you going to film children if they walk by?
Sir, I'm not filming. I'm filming what I can see. I'm filming what I could see, which is the books right now and law enforcement right now. There's no children here, sir.
Obviously, right? But it's a library. Okay, so eventually, come recess or afternoon at recess, right? There's gonna be kids here. That's my primary point of concern, and that the staff, right? They're here just to do their jobs.
Right.
They're here to.
And I'm
help
just
people
asked.
folks.
I asked this.
Then
I asked
you're
this
coming
woman
and asking
to.
where the Constitution is. You, I'm sure you have a cell phone in front of your smartphone. It takes you 2 seconds to pull it up.
So why would
What's your
anybody come to the
prerogative?
library?
What's
Everybody-
your prerogative to knowing where the Constitution is in the library when you can pull it up on your phone?
Sir, that's a ridiculous statement because you could literally look up any book on your phone.
Exactly. and
So
here
why
we
would
are.
anybody
Here we
come?
are.
And why? So why would a library exist? If you could look up all the information you want on your phone, why would a library
Provide
exist,
internet
sir?
access to people that don't have it at home, right? To give people
Right.
a place to come
I'm sure
study.
every single
To give
person in this
somebody
library.
a quiet space
Sir, it's
to come
ridiculous.
study.
It's
What's
ridiculous. It's
Everyone has internet
ridiculous.
access?
It's ridiculous that you would think. I'm sure everybody in this library, if you ask them right now, they have internet access. There might be some.
No. We said, why does a library exist? Right? And what I'm telling you is that
The library
it's here-
exists for the public to
people
use
here
it
right now,
for whatever
the people
intended
here
purpose
right
they
now
want.
May have, yes, they may have internet access, right? But the people that may come may not, right? So there's no point in talking in hypotheticals.
Right, sir. Okay. Listen. I just want, ma'am. Did you find out where the Constitution was for me?
Yeah, I have a copy right here.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. I appreciate it.
But in the meantime, we'll just have an officer with them and we'll just do whatever he wants to do.
The board is clear on the policy that they don't want anyone filming in here. I spoke with our board
We're good, sir. We
president.
don't need that.
So,
The Constitution explained.
so that is their stance on it. So that's why.
Yeah, that's what you called.
Yeah,
Alright.
it is our policy.
Well, he's not willing to leave, so.
To be clear, you're not willing to leave, sir?
Oh no, not unless you're threatening to arrest me. Okay. So no. I want to use the library like anybody else.
In the closing minutes, the situation reaches its breaking point. The library's position is restated. The officers ask the final question: are you going to leave? The answer is calm, firm, and unmistakable. No, not unless there's an arrest. And that's the moment everything becomes clear. No law has been broken. No disturbance exists. And the police have nowhere left to go. The video ends not with handcuffs, but with a powerful reminder. Rights only matter if people are willing to exercise them, and document what happens when they